Welcome back to Elite vs. Elite on BlackTideTV. This is the final Elite vs. Elite for Advanced Warfare. It may actually be the final Elite vs. Elite for any Call of Duty ever. Depends on what we'll see in future Call of Duties, if we're going to see supply drops, if we're going to see weapon variants. Probably not, but I mean, Advanced Warfare 2 is 3 years away, so maybe in 3 years we'll reboot the series. I guess we'll just have to see, because it's kind of weird how this game did its own new thing, this variant thing, and then Black Ops 3 is kind of just like getting rid of it all. Just like, whatever. I have heard news that there are going to be supply drops, but there's not going to be weapon variants, so Elite versus Elite can't really work with that. So this might be the last Elite versus Elite ever, so I did something special for it. And instead of just 2 gameplays, I did 4 gameplays. Even though a couple of them weren't really that great, but I mean, I did get 4 gameplays, and each one, there's 2 with the Strider, 1 on Solar and 1 on Biolab, and there's 2 with the Speakeasy on Perplex and Drift, and I'm alternating between them all the way through this video. And each of the clips is not a standard Elite versus Elite clip. Generally with Elite versus Elite, because I was using some weird weapons and weapons that I wasn't very good with, I would do any lives where I lived with, and I got 2 kills or more, then I'd include it. I try to include it in the Elite versus Elite lineup. But in this one, because I'm good with the ASM1, because I know how to use it, because it's one of my favorite weapons in the game, it is going to have some very nice gameplay in this video. It's 3 kills and up per life. Generally with the Speakeasy on, I think it was the Speakeasy on Drift, I believe, I'm getting like I get a bloodthirsty, I think, every single life. So it's pretty intense. It's going to be some very good gameplay, and we're going to talk about, obviously, the ASM1 today. So what are the stats for the ASM1? And we'll look at this. And this might be a fairly controversial Elite versus Elite, because I know that there are a ton of people that like both sides of this weapon, and I know I'm going to have people that are mad at me for what I am going to give for my final decision on what gun is better. So what are the stats? Let's look at the Strider stats. They're on screen right now, so you can follow along. It's got +1 damage, +2 range, and -3 accuracy. So obviously, it's the only bad side about this thing is that it's going to be inaccurate, which is very, very easily combated with a foregrip. So you don't really have to worry about that -3 accuracy. As long as you have good control over where you're aiming and you have a foregrip, it's not going to be that bad. So this has a very, very good upsides and a slight downside that you can really learn to control. The stats for the Speakeasy are up on the screen now. This is one of the favorite variants of anybody in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I know that a ton of people use the Speakeasy. Like, easily, there's more people using the Speakeasy than there is the Strider. Probably because the Strider is a more rare variant, I believe. It's harder to get out of supply drops, and it's the final unlock in the Prestige chain. So if you get the Grandmaster Prestige 15, then you get the Strider. So the ASM1 is at like Grandmaster Prestige 6, so a lot more people have the chance to actually get to the Speakeasy. The Speakeasy stats are on screen. It has +2 fire rate, -1 damage, -1 range, and it has extended mag. So this is almost like an exact opposite of the Strider. Almost, it's like the Strider is plus damage and range, this one is minus damage and range. So that's kind of a really, really bad thing to have. Whenever something is minus damage and range, I almost immediately condemn it, except this weapon, when used in the right circumstances, can be very, very effective. The +2 fire rate is going to make it very good at close quarters combat, and the extended mags is just an easy, great usable attachment that comes equipped on this weapon. You don't have to wait and try to do double kills or whatever you have to do to get the extended mags unlocked on this weapon. You can just automatically have them unlocked, so that's pretty cool. Let's talk about these 2 weapons now. We know the stats. What do I have to say about them? This is actually a very one-sided Elite versus Elite once you actually look at it. I know the Speakeasy is a lot of people's favorites, but it simply is not as good as the Strider. The Strider kicks the Speakeasy's ass every single time. The Strider is going to have increased damage and increased range, and what that's going to mean is that at the longest ranges, at the longest range that the ASM1 gets to, it's going to be a 5-shot kill. The standard ASM1 is a 6-shot kill at long ranges. So with the Strider, you're going to be having a 5-shot kill minimum. That's the most amount of bullets you have to put into somebody to kill them. That and your 3-shot kill range is going to be extended. The ASM1 actually does not have a 4-shot kill range. It's either 3 or 5, and the 3-shot kill range is going to be extended. The 5-shot kill range is going to be extended, and it's always going to be a 5-shot kill. So it's very, very, very easy to get a kill with the Strider. The Strider is very, very nice to use, apart from that minus accuracy. So that's where you kind of get screwed. It has a 5-shot kill at long ranges, but will you actually hit those 5 shots before the Speakeasy hits its blank amount of shots to get a kill? We're going to talk about that in a second, but before the Speakeasy hits the amount of bullets it hits, will you be able to hit it with the Strider with the minus accuracy? And that's actually part of the controversy. Like, will I be able to actually use this weapon effectively at long range so I can make use of that extended range? I think you can. I don't think it's a big deal, this minus range, or I mean this minus accuracy on the Strider. I think it's very usable. I just think you need to really work with the ASM1, play a lot of games with the ASM1 and get used to it. You can get used to its recoil control, and you don't need to use a foregrip. I know that a lot of people use the Speakeasy, and a lot of people don't even run foregrip on the Speakeasy, even though you should, because it has that extended fire rate. It's because people would rather have other attachments on their weapons, so they get used to a weapon, they stick it out, and they try just using a weapon without foregrip for once, and it will actually get you, it'll make you stick it out, and you'll figure out how to actually control that weapon without foregrip. So the Strider is very easy to control. Let's talk about the Speakeasy for a little bit. The Speakeasy is going, like I said, that blank amount of shots at long range. The Speakeasy is going to actually make it more shots to kill at long range. If you use the Speakeasy, it's going to take 7 shots at the longest range to get a kill. It's not going to be 6 anymore. Now it's going to be 7. That is a really, really, really bad number. 7 bullets at long range is very, very, very hard to hit, especially with a weapon with this much fire rate. So it's a very, very bad that you have 7-shot kill at long ranges with the Speakeasy. So that is not a good thing. You do not want that, especially with a SMG, like a weaker SMG. I mean, it's not weak, it's a very powerful SMG, but I mean, it's weaker than most assault rifles or whatever. So it's very, very bad that you have a 7-shot kill at long ranges. You're not going to be able to compete against assault rifles at those medium and long ranges. You're not going to be able to compete with LMGs, whatever. It's just not a competitive weapon at long range. However, the fire rate and the extended mags make it very, very good at close range. So you're always going to want to be in close quarters with the Speakeasy. You're going to want to be right in people's faces, where the 3-shot kill range is still the same. The 3-shot kill is always, it's still going to be 3-shot kill, and the 3-shot kill range is a little bit shorter, but as long as you're right in people's faces, you'll still be getting that 3-shot kill, and you won't want to be moving outside of that range. So definitely stick up close with the Speakeasy. It's good for, like I said, it's good for close quarters, and it's not good for much else. So what kind of attachments should you be putting on these weapons? With the Strider, definitely a grip. And once you get used to it, you don't need to run a grip anymore, but I definitely recommend a grip when you're first using it. With the Speakeasy, advanced rifling. Another little thing that I like to do with the Strider, it's very, 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 very ineffective, but it's kind of funny just for the novelty of doing it, is making the stride easy. And what you do is you use the Strider and you put rapid fire and extended mags on it, and then obviously grip, because then it's impossible to control, and you have the stride easy. It's got all of the bonus effects of the Strider and the Speakeasy in one gun. It's going to be very, very, very inaccurate, and it's very hard to use, but it can just be fun just to use and have a good time. Let's talk about the camo before we get into the final edge. The camos on these weapons, the Strider is going to take the win for the camos. It's got this nice golden floral, like the standard elite kind of camo, and it just looks really nice. The Speakeasy, not so much. Speakeasy kind of looks like grayish with like a little bit of tints of gold and stuff. Speakeasy is not really that fancy. I do like the big drum magazine, that's really cool, but the Strider's actual camo just takes the cake. So for the final edge on the final elite versus elite of Advanced Warfare, and possibly ever, the ASM1 Strider is going to win. The ASM1 Strider is just so usable at all ranges. Once you get used to that accuracy, that kick, you can get so used to this weapon and just be cranking out 3-4 shot kills, or not 3-4 shot kills, 3-5 shot kills. and it's just super easy to use. Getting those long shot kills, it's the best ASM1 in the game, there's no doubt about it. As long it's just accuracy, and accuracy can always just be fixed. If you practice with a weapon long enough, that accuracy isn't going to affect you. You'll know exactly how to stop it from kicking. You'll know how to use the weapon properly, and it won't be kicking so much, and it won't be so bad anymore. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. Comment down below what Speakeasy is, or what ASM1 is your favorite, and tell me why. If you think there's a better ASM1 in the game than the Strider, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to favorite this video, share it with all your friends, subscribe for more daily gaming goodness. Tune in tonight, that is November 1st, 2015, at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to be doing a farewell to Advanced Warfare video. It may or may not be my very last Advanced Warfare video on this channel, so that's pretty intense. We're going to just be going through any elite weapons that didn't make it into Elite versus Elite this season. So it's going to be any weapons that I only have one elite variant of instead of two elite variants of, and it's going to be pretty exciting. So hopefully you tune in for that. I'll see you guys there, and I'll also see you guys on the next BlackTideTV video.